What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Day1Radio. As always, I'm Maurice Garland in the building with my man, Brandon Peters. What's happening, man?
What's good, brother? How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to today's guest, bro.
Yeah, these are the homies, man. So it's always good to have folks we know in the building, you know? For sure. So, man, it's one thing, my cousin Jeremy, shout out to him, DJ Jerm did it on Instagram. It was like, bro, I think the best thing that happened to music in a long time was this pandemic and quarantine. He was like, I feel like we're getting stuff that we would not have ever gotten, you know, if life was going on as normal. And even though I have not asked this question off the air, I feel like our guest today, Ultra Beast, which is Senor Kaos and Four Eyes individually, but collectively they are Ultra Beast. Been extremely prolific, man, in this last, few months or whatnot. So it's great to have them on the show. If you are not familiar with them individually or collectively, you will be familiar today. If you have lived in Atlanta or visited in Atlanta in the last decade, you have definitely seen Four Eyes' logo. Without a doubt.
It actually might be longer than a decade. Those stickers got some life.
Yeah, we like 13 strong, 13 and going.
Yeah, that logo is as recognized as Coca-Cola in this metro area. For sure. But welcome, brothers. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank y'all for having us, man.
Yes, sir.
Beat the head. Finally.
Yeah. So, I mean, both of you guys have done your thing musically for, on your own for a while now. What made you come together and put this thing together right now? And how did you guys come together? Because I'm sure just moving and shaking, y'all have met, probably worked together here and there, whatever in the past. But what made you say we want to make it official?
Yeah, well, man, me and Fours, like us.
See, I can get off.
Go for it.
I'll say, by 2010. I'll say by 2010, I was just getting out of a bad relationship musically and was looking to reinvigorate myself and get back in the mix. And Chaos at the same time was coming from a bad relationship, I believe, musically. And we both ended up in the same bar drinking, going over our heartbreak. And we was like, hey, man, Atlanta got too much good hip hop for us to not be coming together and doing something about it. And he was like, you know what? You write like a mofo. And then the universe put us over at Rasta Roots house doing something for a mixtape project he was working on. Shout out to Punchline. He was also there that groundbreaking night in which we decided to just unify all our strengths, man. It didn't matter what you was or how good. Actually, it does matter how good you are, but it didn't matter what you did, whether you were producer, MC, DJ, lawyer, guerrilla marketing, street promotion, manager. If you were a beast at what you did, we decided to link up as many beasts as possible and just go to war. And as far as bringing good hip-hop substantial music to the forefront and really just representing the underbelly of hip-hop that existed in Atlanta, because we didn't feel like it was getting a good rep. And we just been really the champion that campaign since 2010. Various campaigns, all of them, I'm a Beast related, Ultra Beast related, Southern Bestiality related. Just if you's Beast and you're gonna be like the most monstrous you could be, come on to the table. And me and Chaos been at the table the longest, so it's just only right we continue chewing up all these animals out here that they claim to be animals but don't really have sex with animals.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's I mean, the thing with the name, it's like Ultra Beast. You take two different beasts and who are doing their own thing, you put them together, you got a twice dominant, you got a superpower. And that's what it's about. It's about Four got resources, I got resources, but when we take those and put them together, it's Ultra Beast, it becomes something bigger than us.
So what was it like initially coming together? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure both of you both know what it feels like to meet somebody that has a great idea, and then it's like you try to work together, and it's like, you know what? We both have great ideas, but our idea together might just not work. You know what I'm saying? So what was it like initially when you guys decided, like, you know what, let's go ahead and make this thing happen? Like, you know, being that you're both very, you know, skilled MCs and skilled people at what you do, period. Like, what was it like at first coming together?
I think it was pretty seamless, man. It's I think the thing. You disagree?
I mean, you right, but if it wasn't for the situation I had coming off that American Greed, if I didn't have you to help me with Windy Day and my investors in the Revo situation when we restarted the Four Eyes brand, that really gave us a lot of, like, it was a lot of trial by fire.
Yeah, of course.
Once you came on board, and that really, I feel like, helped pave the way for what we're doing right now. But initially, I can't say it was just like, oh yeah, we just got together. Like, yeah, we could all listen to Mobb Deep Infamous album and, you know, and be cool. But I'm talking about when it came to the business, to the creative ideas, what's the better marketing plan, which we want to do this way, what do you want to push forward, what do you really want to represent? That's where really all of the business that Kaos learned from just knowing corporate sponsorship and how to build a brand. I was building a brand in the street forever, but Kaos took it to a corporate level. So he helped me learn more as far as the necessary things that you put into place to structure longevity with sponsorship dollars, with some type of backing, with some type of better plan and structure than just trying to freestyle everything. Freestyling is good, but you gotta have a written verse that you're gonna go into at some point in time.
Absolutely. Yeah, but in terms of the music, which is a big component, is I think we both sync because we had the same kind of perspective in terms of what we do and what we make and the sound that we want to project to people. And for us, like, we feel like our audience is lovers of lyricism, right? It's people who are lovers of boom bap, people that are lovers of lyricism, and we kind of synced and connected on that. And once we realized that we had that common thread there in terms of the sound that we wanted to make and put out to the people, the music that we're making, you know, it's been seamless. Classic Examples, one of the first, you know, cuts we did, and came out dope and started to create a little buzz in the city. But it wasn't like it was we didn't overthink it. Like, it was, you got bars, I got bars, we got a dope beat, and, you know, let's make a record. And that's kind of how all of the projects come together. United was like the first official album we dropped in November of last year. And that's how we put that joint together, and then we've been just rolling since then.
Cool. Now, in addition to the music, you got Ultra Beast United is also a creative agency, correct?
Yeah. So Ultra Beast United is part label, part creative agency, label-wise, for us to put out our project as group, as well as solo endeavors, which we put out 4 Eyes is Look Into My Eyes joint back in March. But then also on the creative side, working with artists, independent artists, as well as brands to bring creative projects to life, you know, doing things with Kaiser Permanente, Nike. You know, Ford did a project with James C. Singleton, which he added as an interlude on his last album, which was really kind of created as an advertisement, and, you know, added it as a interlude on the project. So yeah, just trying to take all of our skills, like Ford said, man. You know, you a beast at one thing, MG a beast at something, and it's about just taking all those unique attributes and then bringing them together and you know, putting all the pieces to the puzzle together to create a bigger landscape.
For sure. Now, you know, you guys released United in November. 4 Eyes, you came right back in March with Look Into My Eyes, and then just a couple weeks ago, if even a couple weeks, you guys dropped Rush the Court. Like, I feel like if you know, everybody had all kind of stuff going on and moving around the world, it wouldn't have been like this quick with quality music. It's easy to just drop whatever, but like, you can tell y'all actually put thought into the lyrics, the beat selection, the whole nine. So do you feel like just kind of being in the house and quarantining to an extent has pushed you guys to stretch your creativity and release more music?
Well, I think it was, for us looking at the year, the plan was already kind of set to release the projects in the way we are.
Okay.
Our goal was to drop a new album every quarter. And United being fourth quarter for last year, Four IZEs being first quarter, Rush the Court being second quarter, and then, you know, my album coming, solo project coming later. So that was kind of our plan. But I will say, I feel like with the world shutting down and being in quarantine, it has allowed us more time. Ain't no events, ain't no parties, ain't no concerts. Yeah. So if there's nothing to do, it's like it's more time to get in the studio. It's more time to write and get after recording stuff for sure.
Exactly. How did, I mean, Rush the Court, for those who are not familiar, is inspired by basketball. I think all of us on here, you know, heavily into basketball. So how did it kind of mess things up to an extent, or did it mess things up?
Nigga.
There was no NCAA tournament in Atlanta as planned. Nigga. There was no Olympic Dream Team hoops. We started the damn NBA season the same time football is normally started.
It messed everything up, man. It messed everything up. I mean, initially, for folks that don't know, like, so Final Four was supposed to be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
This year, and so we were planning a bunch of stuff around Final Four. We had an event that we were planning. We were gonna like release the project around there. We had a bunch of merch ideas and stuff that we were kind of putting together and planning, and it was all supposed to, you know, culminate kind of around Final Four and then continue with, you know, NBA playoffs and all that. But man, it ain't happened like we thought it was gonna happen, you know, and that's kind of that's how it's been all year. It's like nothing, you couldn't plan this, and you know, so it's been unexpected. I think for us, it's probably been the same as everybody, you know, you guys and everybody else. It's like just trying to roll with the punches, trying to figure it out as you go, and still kind of stick to your game plan. It's like, you guys, you do this show, right? So even with this, you're like, hey, we still gonna do episodes. We just got to find a new way to do episodes. And that's kind of the same thing for us, but it's tough for artists, you know, especially when, you know, performing live and shows is a big piece that we connect with fans and, you know, be able to sell merch and not being able to do that. But yeah, it changed our plans a lot, man. You know, we had a lot of ideas around basketball and things that we wanted to roll out. And when it wasn't no basketball, that's the first time I seen Four ever get worried.
Yeah.
Hey, I said, Kaos, this has never happened for as long in my entire life. They ain't never stopped playing NBA basketball. Yep. They done striked, but they ain't never stopped playing basketball. They stopping. That's why we brought out my solo album. Rush the Court was supposed to come out when I dropped the Look Into My Eyes project. Yeah, right. But because we had that written verse sitting in the cut, it allowed us to freestyle once things went left. And it was like, if basketball delayed, let's delay the Rush the Court project, because Kaos had the best idea. He was like, yo, Griselda just be like shooting niggas and selling drugs on all their music. Why don't we just like rap about basketball and how we superheroes with metaphors and crossover skills? And I was like, yo, that's a great idea. Since basketball is unofficially the sport for hip hop, that would be a wonderful thing to tie in. So we had this, it's a wonderful project, but man, it's called Rush the Court, and they don't rush the court in the NBA. They rush the court in college. And once college got canceled, I was like, man, it's like, it's like,
But no, I mean, but to y'all's credit, I mean, granted, it's definitely a hoop themed album from, you know, front to back, cover art and everything. But I mean, the shit is just still dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still dope beats, dope lyrics, and it's not like every song is like a different version of damn Curtis Blow basketball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like y'all still fucking rhyming for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
it is just more energy, man. Like,
but you know how awkward it is to walk into the whole house with no condoms, though. That's what I'm saying.
Look at here.
No, the predicament that puts you in. That's how it felt. That's how it really felt. I was like, yo, man, we gotta improvise.
Yeah. But the whole, I mean, if you listen to the project, and the album's out now, streaming, and it's on our site, ultrabeatsunited.com. You listen to the project, it's kind of like a metaphor for the NBA season and basketball period, like from 2019, you know, coming into 2020. you know, it started off all fun and you know, exciting, and then, you know, we get into you know, things that are happening this past spring, Black Lives Matter movement and protests and unrest, and that's what songs like Push and Stuart Scott that are on the project, like that came from things that were going on around. But when you look at the full project, like it's really a metaphor for basketball, you know, in this past season. So
like you guys worked with you know, like from what I'm looking at the credits, like, you know, like a group of producers, you know, Drugs, Breeds, Illustrate, and Willpower. Like, tell us about like the process of, you know, just working with producers. I mean, you know, sometimes working with producers is like, hey man, email me the beat and I'm just gonna get on it and I'll send it back. But it seems like all these songs were one very cohesive. It doesn't seem like it's a thing where it's like somebody sent in some random ass beat and it was like, well, he sent it, so we got to use it. You know, so like, talk to us about like that process of like, you know, working with this team of producers to put this whole thing together.
For us be kidnapping producers, man, and he make them bring their best beats, man. You know, if that's the ransom. If you want to get free, you got to give up the best beats, or you ain't gonna see your family and kids again.
And to Kaos's credit, his hip hop ear is immaculate. The first time I heard of Drugs was on a beat that him and homeboy Sandman rapped on, the Machines joint. That's from way back. That was my introduction to Drugs through Kaos. Illustrate did Kaos's, the whole Kaos Effect for the most part, your first album before. And he's about to do the entire King of Vice, Kaos's next album that he's bringing out soon. So to have that type of weaponry in the arsenal and not make it readily available or take advantage of it or utilize it properly is a sacrament to good hip hop. So it's nice to know that we got them type of pistols just laying around under the cupboard, in the bed, you know, behind the couch, you know, in the glove box. We got pistols everywhere.
Yeah, but also MG, to add on, man, is we really kind of wanted to kind of craft our sound for what Ultra Beast United is and for every project that comes out. And a part of that is kind of, you know, in the past, what me and Four, I think we'll both do, what a lot of MCs do is, you know, you take the beats where you can get them, and, you know, who's ever active at the time and has the heat, that might be who you're cooking with or who you're working with. And we really kind of wanted to just curate our sound a little more, and Drugs and Illa kind of became, Illustrate kind of became a big piece of that sound that we're kind of presenting. So if you look at all of the 3 albums that we've dropped so far, both of them are big pieces of all of those projects. And then with Will, you know, I met Will through Four, and you know, Will just had, you know, he had that heat rock, and that became the joint that's on the album called Give Us Respect. But yeah,
shout out to Willpower. Shout out to Willpower. Virgo, it's Virgo season. Virgo's coming through. It's our time. It's our time, baby.
So I also want to know, like, the process of, like, you know, getting, you know, some of the features on there as well, you know what I'm saying? Because like everybody, you know, delivered, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it was times where it's like I was listening to it. Of course, you're like, God damn, who this? You know what I'm saying? But you're also like, damn, this dude sound like he belongs in the damn group. It ain't just like some random this left field. Like, man, who the fuck is this and why are they here? You know what I'm saying? So talk to us about, you know, the selection of the features on here as well.
Well, collectively, Ultra Beast, we got a lot of branches to the tree. It's a lot of claws on the paw, if you will, a lot of fangs in the teeth. And traditionally, it's always me, Kaos. You'll hear Punchline at any given time. You'll hear Wordsworth at any given time. My brother number 2 is in Chicago working on his project called Rape Whistle. It'll be out probably 4th quarter. He always, you know, we make sure we represent our lyrical goons as much as we can. People who really are champions of this hip hop thing too. We want to make sure that they get a platform to speak their piece, and at the same time they strengthen our platform. So then, like, my brother was like, yo, Afro is a fan of your work. I seen him comment on something. I was like, word, Afro is amazing. And then I started researching more Afro, and then I reached out to him, and we started to build a relationship. And then he wanted to jump on Push. He thought it was a wonderful track. And then it just helped further build our relationship. So even people that I didn't know per se, or that we had worked with on other projects,
Head Crack, man. Head Crack's another one. Like
again, Head Crack original Ultra Beats, like A1 Day1. He always been down, always lends the barbaric lyricism to the movement, and the goal is always to, like, man, Wu-Tang really set such a wonderful foundation. It's hard for me to not follow that. You know what I'm saying? If I hear any album and you're supposed to get at least one feature from every Wu-Tang member, I understand Ghostface might be on every song, but then, you know, I still want to hear Master Killer. I still want to hear the Jizza. I still want to hear Inspector Deck. So to be able to provide that is truly a joy to moi.
Yeah. So what you guys mentioned, Push, one of the singles. What was the how did the video come together? Just the execution of it, because it's shot during the protests, and I feel like you guys have clips from different protests, not just in Atlanta, in the video. I'm sure that had to be a pretty tense time. So kind of take us back to that moment of shooting that video.
Go ahead, Four.
Man, that was like Chaos said, as far as 2020 just being so back and forth and rolling with the punches. Like, we knew that we had the Push song done. It technically wasn't even supposed to be on Rush to Court, but it was the climate of everything that was happening, and we didn't want to wait. So that's why it's the last song on the project. But they had just did the Atlanta
Yeah, it just popped off.
Yeah, Mr. McDonald. They had they did Mr. McDonald at the Wendy's.
Yeah.
And it was like everything was dying down from the George Floyd and the Breonna Taylor, and then when the Atlanta incident happened right off of University, it instantly flared everything back up. So we was already slated to try and catch some tail end CNN.
You on mute, Four. You went on mute.
Four. Four, you on mute. He going in too.
Yo, hit your button. You on mute. We can't hear you. You on mute.
Hilarious.
Hey man, you guys go to hell, man. You could go.
All right, we're gonna have to rewind.
He was going in too. All you saw was
right.
So again,
now, but during you know, like Ford was saying, man, it was like Push. Actually, we made the record before everything popped off. The song was actually recorded before any of this stuff kind of popped off, just because, I mean, we're followers of algorithms, and you see what was about to happen. You know, we kind of feel what the mood of everything was, and it's the same as what it's been. You know, police brutality just didn't start this past spring, right? It's been here forever, and so yeah, we had the record in the can, and when everything started popping off in the streets, you know, it's like, man, we're not going to be here in our home down the block and not go be involved, you know. So we got out in the streets and you know, got out and made our signs and used our voices and all those things. And then it just became a moment like, hey, let's film, you know, the song to the movement as well, to go along with right where we're at. And so that's what we did. We just did a guerrilla style, man. We just went out and captured footage out in the streets when we were out. And then Lenz, who did the video, did a great job. You know, he took a lot of clips from, you know, stuff in there from the 60s and you know, from past movements and whatnot. And he spliced it in, and it looks all kind of like it's now, right? But it's so much just from throughout history that he was able to take and splice in. And it came out dope.
No, absolutely. No, it's
very dope.
It's a great video for sure.
Thank you.
What I mean, obviously you guys said you plan on putting out 4 projects this year. We've gotten 2 so far. It's Chaos, we know you're gonna drop your solo this year. Is there anything else we can expect from the collective in 2020?
Yeah, the plan is after my project, which you know, Four alluded to earlier, it's a collaboration with myself and Illustrate. So Illa's on 100% of the production. on it. It's going to be called Kings of Ice. And then number 2 project is what we're working on next to come out. So those are kind of like the next 2 projects that folks can expect. And then we're also working on another Ultra Beast project, which is TBD in terms of when we'll release, but that'll be coming through the pipeline as well.
That's awesome. So we, Rush the Court is the name of the most current project. We can't let y'all get out of here without talking about some hoops. So who do you guys think is going to win this bubble championship?
The bubble chip? The bubble, I don't know, man. It's tough to gauge. I think for one, it's just exciting to see basketball again after we went through the break. And then I think now you're kind of seeing, I've been trying to gauge, like, are there teams or players that are like, man, I want to get out this bubble. And we'll take the L just so we can get out this bubble and go home. And so it's kind of tough. But then you got, LeBron yesterday playing like he wanted, knocking the Blazers off by 40 and still kind of going in. So it's like, do the Lakers want it? I don't know. You got a prediction, man?
The winner is Adam.
The winner is Adam Silver?
Come on, man. Y'all got to get better than that. Who's going to be in the finals?
Look, I have my favorite players. I'm from Chicago, live in Atlanta. Both them teams got to the bootleg bubble that I ain't even seen a game from. So, I could always go for the powerhouse Lakers. I'm really feeling Miami. I like Miami. What they bring to the table. Jimmy Butler, Dog, Pat Riley, organizations, Eric Spoelstra, the coach, and then they got a ton of players around that scrappy, hard nosed, and they don't got the distractions of having to fly across country. It ain't no late partying per se in the bubble, so everybody can focus on their initial craft and get the job done. So you're really seeing who could shine with no distractions, with no excuses, and Miami looks really good right now.
I'm gonna go Lakers Bucks finals.
Yeah, I got Miami knocking off the Bucks in the second round.
Thank you.
I got Miami knocking off the Bucks in the second round. All right, so you mentioned you have favorite players and all that. We all do. So I want you guys. They can be current and past, or just past. But give me your top 5 favorite, not the best. Your 5 favorite hoopers.
Oh. You talking about hoopers?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Jesus. Okay, I've always been a sucker for dunks. So, like, man, I'm always going to love Jordan by default.
Of course.
I'm always going to be braided Kobe's guts. And that boy played his heart out through the adversity of Boulder Hill, Colorado trial and displayed some of the most magnificent 48-minute antics I've seen in the history of my life. So I love Vince Carter because he jumped over a 7-footer in the Olympics. In addition to everybody he's ever posterized and shitted on throughout his career. I love Charles Barkley. I'm a throwback Charles Barkley fan. 76ers to Phoenix. Barkley's attitude. He was the best player on the Dream Team, which is why NBA went to promote him the way that they did once they came back from Barcelona. And then, Shaq. Shaq shitted on Chris Dudley so bad. All at him in the middle of a nationally televised game. Like, you know how upset you got to be to forget that you at work?
Hey, I always say, if Shaq would have connected on that punch, we'd have had another Kermit Washington situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, for real. All right, Chaos, you done had enough time to start.
Yeah. Of course, Mike's in there. Shaq was one, I was going to drop as well. A lot of my favorite players, I think, revolve around sneakers. So there's guys like Tim Hardaway, who was one of my favorites because Tim had to kill a crossover and was getting busy. J Kidd is one of my favorites. Magic. Yeah, Magic for sure. I think that's 5.
That's 5.
But I mean, it could keep going, man. And cause I think there's a lot of players who were dope, who weren't stars, who were just, you know, people that you really enjoyed watching, who took the game serious. You know, folks like, you know, like Rod Strickland and
Strickland, hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, guys who were nice that you really enjoyed, you know, watching them do their thing night in, night out, whether they got the, you know, the fame or clout or recognition for it. Oh man, I'm super tripping. Penny's top 5.
Okay.
Penny's top 5 for me, favorite. For sure.
I respect that.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Penny? Oh no, Penny's in my top 5, bro.
Yeah, I'll take
What
T-Mac
you talking
over
about?
Penny.
Penny,
I'll take T-Mac over Penny.
You take T-Mac over T-Mac before the bad back?
Yeah, definitely before the bad back. Definitely before the bad back. I'll take Sean Kemp before the 40s. I'll take Scottie Pippen before Future's. I got players that's up there, and then, you know, stuff happens, and they're like, ooh, we got to bring them down some. But, yeah, T-Mac before the bad back.
I just want to know when we going to get the 4 Eyes comedy album.
Man, and I promise you, Ultra Beast United was working on the live comedy mixtape hip hop album. We was gonna bring it out, but they've been beating out people so bad, man. It's hard to be funny right now. I don't really know how to make light of things that I want to be serious about. So I have to reinvigorate, like, you know, get back on that whole In Living Color, just like topical comedy with messages in it. You know what I'm saying? The folks can learn from. The satire is important, but I don't want the message to get lost in the comedy. But I promise you, it's it's on the list. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it without getting caught by my wife, if that makes any sense.
Nah, it's been tough, B, as well, man, because it's like, you know, you have so many things that you want to crack jokes about and you know, make satire of, but at the same time, it's just like folks are so uptight, it feel like you can't joke about nothing. You know, you tweet the wrong thing and folks is on your neck, and
Right.
So it's like it's a tough time to try, you know, just to be funny. It's like folks are being funny in private now.
Yeah, nah, you're right about that for sure.
Funny in public could get your page shut down. I'm like,
Right.
damn, y'all didn't like that joke?
This is true. This is true. So, yo, please tell people how they can support and where they can support the projects.
Yeah, number one place folks can go to support us and all the projects is ultrabeastunited.com. ultrabeastunited.com. Give you access to the merch, to all of the albums. Right now on Rush to Court through our site, there's 2 songs that are on the project that aren't streaming. So, you know, if you want to hear the whole thing, you know, check us out at the site. Social media wise, the same thing, Ultra Beast United. I'm at Senor Kaos, Chaos with a K. 4 Eyes is it's with a Z, 4 IZE underscore. Yeah, it's 4 Eyes IZE underscore. So that's where we at on the gram. And yeah, you know, that's the best place to catch us, man. We friendly folks, man. If you like what you hear, shoot us a line, shoot us a note, you know, get back to folks, and you know, appreciate all the support from folks that's been rocking with us for the past year, man. Appreciate y'all for having us on here and being able to crack some jokes and talk a little bit about this music.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man, being great guests. We appreciate you guys for listening. Through our partners at CLNS Media. Appreciate you guys watching on Live Hip Hop Daily, the app, or on YouTube. Any way you can get it, make sure you get it, subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Day1Radio. That is DAY, the number 1 radio. And we'll see y'all next week with another dope show. Peace.
Peace.